Bunyog, bunyog, halikan na kasama ka. Bunyog, kapag buklod ay may pag-asa.
House Bill number 9349 is approved on third and final reading. Majority Leader, the Honorable Abante Jr. is recognized. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and the Majority Leader.
Yes, you may proceed.
May I ask the people in the plenary to please be quiet. We are in session here. We would like everyone to understand whatever statement that we declare in this hall. Madam Speaker, much as I understand the plight of some of our women who are victims of irresponsible and cruel men, I cannot, in conscience, and according to my faith, support the divorce bill. I do not want to think, Madam Speaker, that our government has become a liberal and secular institution, like the Western countries of today. I look at the preamble of our Constitution, Madam Speaker, that says, and I read, "We, the sovereign Filipino people, imploring the aid of Almighty God." And also in Section 12 on state policies, Madam Speaker, the state recognizes the sanctity of family life and shall protect and strengthen the family as a basic autonomous social institution. If our people would think that the divorce bill would make it easier for them to be able to break the marriages than the annulment of marriage law, I would not think that to be easy, Madam Speaker. I have told my good friend and kababayan, Congressman Esther Lagman, I have asked him for a while, because we already have laws on legal separation and nullity of marriage and annulment of marriage law. Why do we still need the divorce bill, Madam Speaker? I said that perhaps we could be able to repeal the annulment of marriage law, or perhaps incorporate all of the provisions in the divorce bill in the annulment of marriage law. But of course, he said that he would like to give all the options to our people. Madam Speaker, I cannot go against the majority rule of Congress. But I would like to say this in my speech today, that I hope that this divorce bill that perhaps would become a law someday would not be something that will be taken advantage by some people. We do not want this divorce bill be a tool, Madam Speaker, that some people would take advantage of this. Why? Because in America, you could be able to divorce a person in 5 minutes. The next 10 minutes, Madam Speaker, they will remarry again. What is this? Malaki po itong kalokohan pag yung mga tinatawag nating irresponsableng mga kalalakihan o kababaihan ay gagawing kasangkapan itong divorce bill na ito upang paghiwalayin ang mga mag-asawa. Sana naman wag. I am afraid, Madam Speaker, that one day, once again, Congress, after us, after all of the congressmen here have already been here, Madam Speaker, that the new ones would be able to modify and amend the divorce law, if ever, Madam Speaker, so that like America, like Europe, Madam Speaker, they can just go to any state, for example, and be able to break their own marriage and then remarry again. We do not want that to happen. And may I sound a warning right now, Madam Speaker, one day, we will all regret what this Congress has approved right now, may I again sound the warning, Madam Speaker, that one day we shall regret what this plenary and 19th Congress has approved right now. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Today, I explain my vote of no on House Bill 9349, an act reinstituting absolute divorce. My decision is rooted in three fundamental reasons. First, the need to protect the sanctity of the family. Second, the potential to improve existing legal frameworks. And third, the importance of expanding social services aimed at salvaging failed marriages. Firstly, we must protect the sanctity of the family. Article 15, Section 2 of the 1987 Constitution is unequivocal in asserting that marriage as an inviolable social institution is the foundation of the family and shall be protected by the state. Marriage is not merely a contract between two individuals. It is the bedrock of our society. The dissolution of this sacred institution through divorce undermines the very foundation upon which our communities are built. Furthermore, it is the children who will bear the brunt of divorce. We have already seen studies that have shown that children from broken families often face emotional, psychological, and social challenges. By upholding the sanctity of marriage, we are safeguarding the well-being and the future of our nation's children. Secondly, we can address marital issues within the framework of existing laws rather than introducing divorce. To achieve this, we propose transferring the requisites of legal separation to annulment. By doing so, we acknowledge that the severe grounds for legal separation, such as repeated physical violence, drug addiction, abandonment, and sexual infidelity, should also be valid grounds for annulment. This expansion would provide those in troubled marriages with a more definitive resolution, recognizing the gravity of these issues and allowing individuals to fully dissolve their marital bonds rather than just separate. Furthermore, we must tackle the inefficiencies in our court system that cause delays and prolong the process of legal separation and annulment. The cost of an annulment varies widely, and it can range from 150,000 pesos to 300,000 or more. The entire process can take anywhere from 6 months to 4 years, depending on the court's calendar. Streamlining this procedure and reducing costs will make these options more accessible to those in troubled marriages, providing a viable alternative to divorce. Lastly, we must expand social services aimed at supporting couples before and during marriage to ensure that they are prepared for the challenges that they may face. By investing in comprehensive premarital education programs, we can help couples build a strong foundation, teaching them effective communication skills, conflict resolution, and financial management. During marriage, it is crucial to offer quality and accessible marriage counseling and support services. Strengthening these support systems can help couples work through their issues, fostering reconciliation and understanding, rather than opting for divorce at the first sign of irreconcilable difference. Providing robust counseling services demonstrates our commitment to preserving the family unit. These social services are more meaningful and constructive approach, emphasizing prevention and support over dissolution. In conclusion, allowing divorce would open the floodgates to more failed families, leaving children as the primary victims. Instead of taking this drastic step, we should focus on enhancing existing legal mechanisms and investing in social services, supporting and mending marriages. By doing so, we uphold the sanctity of the family, protect our children, and maintain the moral fabric of the Philippine society. Again, I vote no to the House Bill 9349.
Majority Leader, the Honorable Jane Castro is recognized to explain her vote. You have 3 minutes.
Madam Speaker, This representation voted in the negative to House Bill number 9349 because I believe in the sanctity of marriage and the resilience of the family. I voted no to this said bill because I believe that we must strengthen the family as the basic unit of the society and not to weaken it. Thank you.
The Honorable Arlene Brosas is recognized to explain her vote. You have 3 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we in Gabriela Women's Party is one of the staunch advocates of divorce. Way back in 2005, we introduced a bill to legalize divorce. And nearly 2 decades later, the necessity for this legislation remains pressing. Globally, divorce is widely recognized as a legal method to dissolve a marriage. Yet, the Philippines stands alone in not having a divorce law. However, the push for divorce legalization goes beyond international conformity. It is fundamentally about providing abused women a pathway to escape domestic violence and rebuild their lives. It is easy to paint Filipino families as perfect, devoid of any form of conflict and abuse. But in reality, political, economic, and social realities strain marital relationships. Many women face inequalities and violence that undermine the ideals of marriage. According to the 2022 National Demographic and Health Survey, 18% of women with intimate partners have experienced violence, emotional, physical, or sexual, from their current or most recent partners. Alarmingly, nearly 40% of women aged 15 to 49 have encountered controlling behavior from their partners. These statistics highlight the urgent need for legal mechanisms to address and mitigate domestic abuse. The divorce bills aim to restore divorce as a rights-based option, acknowledging that the right to enter into marriage includes the right to exit, an irreparable one. This legislation will not precipitate marital breakups, but will offer an additional remedy alongside legal separation, annulment, and declaration of nullity of marriage. It respects the plurality of religious beliefs and cultural sensibilities in the Philippines, providing various remedies to suit different circumstances and beliefs. Moreover, Philippine law already accommodates divorce for Filipino Muslims under the Code of Muslim Personal Laws. Recognizing the Islamic faith's stance on divorce, non-Muslim Filipinos should be afforded the same legal option to reflect their religious and personal beliefs. Failed and abusive marriages span all socioeconomic classes in the Philippines. The lack of access to legal processes forces many couples, especially from marginalized sectors, to separate without legal recourse. The numerous petitions for marriage nullity since 1988 underscore the widespread need to address failed marriages legally. The socioeconomic conditions in the Philippines, marked by labor exports, stagnant incomes, joblessness, and rising living costs, exacerbate marital issues. Divorce legislation acknowledges these realities, providing legal recognition to existing social conditions without further fragmenting already broken homes. We emphasize that divorce is not inherently a religious issue. The proposed bill respects all religions, ensuring that various remedies for failed marriages are available. Madam Speaker, it is time to grant spouses the option to legally exit unhealthy marital relationships. Bigyan natin ng pagkakataon ng mga naaabusong kababaihan at kanilang mga anak ng isang pagkakataon na mabuhay sa isang pamilyang puno ng pagmamahal. Maraming salamat, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Franz Castor is recognized. You have 3 minutes to explain your vote.
Maraming salamat, Madam Speaker. ACT Teachers Party List votes resounding yes to this bill, Absolute Divorce Bill. Bilang isang progresibong mamabatas at kinatawan ng mga guro at manggagawang pang-edukasyon, buo ang suporta ng representasyong ito sa Absolute Divorce Bill. Ang hakbang na ito ay nagbibigay ng isang kinakailangang opsyon para sa mga kababaihan at pamilya na nakakulong sa mga sira-sirang kasal, lalo na kung may kasama itong mga karahasan sa tahanan. Madalas, Madam Speaker, ang mga kababaihan at mga bata ang biktima sa mga dysfunctional na kasal nang walang legal na paraan para makalabas sa sitwasyon. Ang diborsyo ay magbibigay sa kanila ng paraan para makalabas at magkaroon ng pagkakataon na magsimula muli, malaya muli sa karahasan at pang-aapi sa loob ng tahanan. Ito ay isang batas na pro-kababaihan, pro-bata. Hindi sinisira ang kabanalan ng kasal. Hindi sinisira ng kabanalan ng kasal ang diborsyo. Ito lamang po ay pagkilala na may mga ilang kasal sa wala namang kasalanang mga asawa na lumubog sa mga mapanakit na relasyon na hindi maaaring maayos. Ang pagbibigay ng diborsyo bilang opsyon ay hindi sa pilitan sa sino man na tanggapin ito, ngunit nagbibigay ng legal na paraan sa mga taong lubos na naghihirap na makalabas na hindi matibay na sitwasyon, na makalabas sa hindi matibay na sitwasyon. Sa mahabang panahon, Madam Speaker, ang Pilipinas na lamang ang walang batas ng diborsyo, maliban sa Vatican City. Ang mga ibang bansa ay nagkaroon na po ng mga batas ng diborsyo. Bilang isang moderno at progresibong bansa, kailangan nating makahabol at magbigay sa ating mga mamamayan ng isang makataong opsyon kapag nabigo na ang lahat sa isang kasal. Ito ay upang protektahan ang karapatan, kaligtasan at dignidad ng mga kababaihan at bata na nakakulong sa mga papang-abusong kasal. Bigyan natin sila ng legal na paraan para makalabas sa mga opisyal na relasyon na naging bilangguan. Ang pagboto ng oo sa House Bill na ito ay isang boto para sa pamilya at sa pamahalang karahasan laban sa mga kababaihan at bata. Maraming salamat, Madam Speaker.
Raul Manuel to explain his vote.
Kabataan Party List, Raul Manuel, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Bilang kinatawan ng sektor na kilala sa pagiging kritikal at bukas ang isipan sa mga progresibong panukala, bumoboto ang Kabataan Party List ng yes. This yes vote is not an additional means to break up families, but it is an additional means to break free, to provide married individuals with expanded options to break free from abuse. This yes vote is not to prescribe a lower value for relationships, but it is to promote stronger relationships and a fresh start for those who have been freed from abuse. This yes vote is not to leave the young to be lost and confused, but it is to help guide the youth to know what's acceptable and what's not acceptable in the relationships that they themselves will form, so that the youth can be in marriages that truly uphold mutual respect. Through this bill, Mr. Speaker, we hope that no couple will remain complacent in their relationship just because there are guarantees for the continuation of marriage regardless of what they do. Through this bill, we encourage young ones who will later on enter their own marriages to do their part and to do their best in maintaining healthy relationships. This is aligned with what the Filipino youth of today are generally open to and what more and more young Filipinos demand, a higher standard for relationships and marriages. Simply put, Mr. Speaker, we vote yes to this bill. Thank you.
Majority Leader.
May kulanong salita na ang ibig sabihin dito ay ang pagkakaisa.
Bunyog Party List.
Halika na, Bunyog Party List ka na. Halika na, Bunyog Party List ka na.
Sa susunod, ang atinang suportahan, Bunyog Party List, nagtataguyod ng katotohanan, lumalaban para sa bayan.
Bunyog, bunyog, halikan na kasama ka. Bunyog, kapag buklod ay may pag-asa. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, isa ang pananaw. Sa bagong Pilipinas ang bunyog isisigaw.